Welcome to Allied Services High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY, sponsored by Hazelton Honda.
Welcome inside Holy Redeemer High School. We're in Wilkes-Barre, Luzerne County. Tonight, it's a Wyoming Valley Conference Division II clash as Dallas battles Holy Redeemer. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide. Welcome to Allied Services High School Hoops, presented by Hazelton Honda. Joining me tonight, he's coached, and now he referees a little bit, Billy Jones. And Billy, you look at this Division II in the Wyoming Valley Conference, top to bottom, anybody could beat anybody on a given night.
There's not going to be many easy nights this year in Division II. If you don't bring your A game on game night, you're probably going home with an L. Very competitive.
Let's talk about Dallas first. They snuck a game in last night. They beat Pittston area by 14. They have two great guards, but we're going to talk about one of them. He's our Toyota Spotlight player, and that's Nick Nacito.
Nick Nacito can flat out shoot the ball. He is a legitimate three-point threat. What makes him special, though, is if you crowd him off the three-point line, he has that great mid-range game. He can get by you, shoot the little floater or the pull-up jumper.
Holy Redeemer hasn't played last Saturday when they lost to Williamsport, but they pulled off an upset last week when they beat undefeated Loyalsock. They have a great guard themselves. He's our other Toyota Spotlight player, and that's Justice Schultz.
Schultz is the reigning Wyoming Valley Conference Division II Player of the Year. He basically does a little bit of everything, and he does it very well. Super quick, fun to watch in transition. He can knock down the jump shot, get to the rim, and he makes guys around him better.
You talked to both coaches this week. Let's get to your keys to the game. First, for the visitors in Dallas.
Dallas, offensively, they want to control tempo. They do not want Holy Redeemer's quick guards to get out in transition. They're going to do that by taking good shots on the offensive end. Obviously, they don't want to turn the ball over. They're also going to show a containment press tonight to try and get Holy Redeemer to play east-west rather than north-south.
And how about for the Royals?
For the Royals, offensively, they got to make shots. That game Saturday against Williamsport, they really struggled putting the ball in the bucket. They only got 4 players into the scoring column in that loss out in Williamsport on Saturday.
Well, it should be a good one here tonight. These two teams haven't met in 8 years. We'll find out who's going to win tonight. It's a Wyoming Valley Conference Division II matchup as Dallas takes on Holy Redeemer next.
You're watching Allied Services High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY, sponsored by Hazelton Honda.
We are set for today's matchup between Dallas and Holy Redeemer. Let's check out now tonight's starting lineups presented by Hazelton Honda. We talk about Nacito in the pregame. Austin Federelli, he's right there as well. It's Buffalino, Matusik, and Wydra. As you notice, not a very tall team for the Mountaineers, but very effective at 3-1. For Holy Redeemer, they come in at 3-5. They played 8 games so far. We talked about Schultz. Wright, very dynamic. Perta, very good. Pizzolato, and watch out for Matt Prochak. Tallest on the floor, but he can hit the 3 from the outside.
Pizzolato and Prochak can both step out and hit the 3. Tough to guard. They're going to stretch the Dallas defense out tonight. You have to go out and respect the jump shooters. Guard them on the perimeter.
Referees tonight, Bruce Weinstock, Matt Choman, and John Callahan. And the tip is underway here in Wilkes-Barre, controlled by the Royals. Perta will run the point. He'll give it over to Daryl Wright, the 5'6" sophomore.
Dallas opening up man-to-man. They will mix in zone at times tonight.
And they're going to play physical on Prochak. And our first foul of the night will go to Matusik. Between Matusik and Wydra, I mean, you could look at 10 fouls tonight between them. They're going to have to play real tough down low. They're outsized.
Exactly. They're going to have to play bigger than what they are.
And Buffalino comes around with the steal.
Holy Redeemer opening up man-to-man. Expect the quick guards of Schultz, Wright, and Perta to really get out and pressure the ball.
High floater in the middle for Nacito. Here comes the Royals and Wright. Holy Redeemer averaging 54 points per game. They have 37 threes in their 8 contests so far. Wright, that's Perta. He was looking for Prochak, but Prochak cut.
Bob, expect both teams tonight to incorporate high ball screens into their offense. With these two great backcourts, they want to get these guards involved early, get them playing downhill, and get them going to the rim.
Mountaineers averaging 59 points per game. They have 31 three-pointers already in just 4 contests. They can shoot it from the outside pretty well.
Dallas tough to guard. They'll run a lot of staggered screens for their shooters. You'll see them curl a lot of screens, and like I said too, expect them to see some high ball screens. There's a stagger right there.
Nacito, his first downtown shot, no good, but Buffalino maybe should have shot the ball, instead gave it over the Wydra. They're gonna get 3 seconds in the lane. So Dallas had a couple opportunities, they just couldn't get it up to the rim.
Coach Belinsky has to be happy as far as physicality. They're matching Holy Redeemer, getting after it on the glass.
Dallas giving up 44 points so far this season per game.
Dallas showing zone here.
They played a little bit of that last night against Pittston area, man-to-man as well. So Finarelli comes down. He averages 18 points per game. Did score 24 in their opening win against Crestwood.
There's that high ball screen I talked about. Nacito last night scored the Mountaineers' first 8 on the road at Pittston area for their first road win of the year.
Knocked away from Perda from behind. So we're scoreless just about 2 minutes into this game. There's Mark Belinsky. 4th season here, but he was the longtime coach at Bishop O'Reilly. Actually won a state title as their coach. And an interesting fact, assistant coach was Paul Guido on the other side tonight.
Yes, mentor versus mentee tonight. First time they've ever faced each other other than in scrimmages. It's the first time ever in a regular season game Paul and Mark have squared off against one another.
Hoop and a harm. Finarelli down for a bucket. He'll go to the line to shoot the 3.
And if you're Paul Guido, no better mentor than Mark Belinsky. I think if you have a Mount Rushmore of Wyoming Valley Conference coaches, Mark's on there with those 2 state championships back-to-back with the Queensman of Bishop O'Reilly. Here's that 1-2-2 press I was talking about, Bob. They're going to try and get these quick guards of Redeemer to play east-west. This is kind of containment pressure. They will look to trap, though, just inside the timeline. They'll fall back into a 2-3 zone.
There's Justin Schultz. Pro check, he can connect from outside. Perda to Schultz with the left hand, no good, but he will go to the line. Justice Schultz.
So we said in the open, the reigning Wyoming Valley Conference Division II Player of the Year does a lot of things and does them very well.
So the junior shooting just around 69% from the charity stripe this season. There's Paul Guido, 8th season here already with the Royals. Won a district title last year. Second one's off, 2-point lead for the Mountaineers.
They really steamrolled through the district tournament last year. They did not have a close game. And that momentum carried into states where they won a first-round playoff game.
Downtown for Nacito, his 10th 3 on the season.
He could really shoot the ball, and like I said in the open, if you crowd him off the 3-point line, he can hit the pull-up jumper and the floater. Good mid-range game.
As I mentioned in the open, these 2 teams haven't met since February 7th, and that's correct. 2012, Dallas won that game. You see that, but they met again in 2012 in January, and actually Redeemer won that game. So they split, but 8 seasons since these 2 teams have met, and Nacito connects again, 5 in a row for him.
Yeah, he got them rolling last night at Pittston area, scored the team's first 8, and he's putting the team on his back here early in the first quarter.
Get it to Prochak. That name sounds familiar. Yes, there has been several Prochaks here. Girls and boys who've played for the Royals. I'm told he is the last one, though, that will be here.
The Prochaks have been very good to Holy Redeemer High School.
So it's an 8-point lead for the visitors. Out to Nacito, and he gets a friendly rim. And
Coach Guido's going to want a 30-second timeout here. You could not have scripted a better start if you're a Mountaineers fan.
So he takes the timeout. He couldn't wait for the media. And we'll stay right here for the 30, and then we'll take the break on the next one.
Yeah, Nacito always shot ready, wide open in the corner, got the shooter's bounce. Yeah, he's really shooting the ball well. As I mentioned, he scored the first 8 last night in their victory at Pittstonary, their first road win of the year. Mountaineers are now 3-1, looking for their first win, though, in division play tonight, Bob.
So Nacito, as we talked about in the beginning, got the last 7 points for Dallas. And that's what they can do. They have such good talent in the backcourt.
Yeah, their guards are tremendous. Redeemer's guards are tremendous. Yeah, I think this is a game when the Wyoming Valley Conference schedule came out that people circled right away just because of the talent in both of the backcourts. And, of course, 2 highly respected programs.
Coach Guido couldn't wait for the media timeout. We'll be on the next dead ball. Had to slow Dallas down somehow.
Dallas sticking with that zone. Look for a little high-low action here, possibly with Pizzolato and Prochak.
Mountaineers will stay in that zone. Been effective so far. Pirtle, little jumper. Can't get it to go. Taken down by Buffalino. Nacito loses the ball.
Dallas turning up the heat here defensively in the half court. I'm sorry, Redeemer.
Redeemer playing man-to-man.
Got a moving screen here on Dallas going the other way.
3:04, 11-point lead for Dallas. We'll take our media timeout now. We'll be right back here on MyTV. Billy, we take the 2 tallest players on the court for each team. We put them together, and that's our matchup tonight.
Yes, Michael Buffalino for the Dallas Mountaineers, Matt Prochak for the Holy Redeemer Royals. Very similar in style. Both can play inside. They like to bang. They're physical. Both can step outside and shoot the 3. As we mentioned, both of these teams have exceptional backcourts. I think maybe the club that has the best interior play, that might be the X factor tonight in regards to who wins this game.
And you can tell who Buffalino is. He's got the golden hair.
Hard to miss.
Yeah, can't miss him. So now, wait for the Royals. What do you do now? You can't panic yet, but you know, right now you're down 11.
Tons of time left. I think you got to get stuff going to the rim, get in the gaps of the zone, maybe go high-low with the 2 bigs. You don't want to settle for jump shots.
Yeah, I think the zone is really affecting the Holy Redeemer.
Yeah, I think maybe if you're Paul Guido, maybe you want to think about extending your defense, getting a little full court pressure going here, and get some transition hoops to get your offense rolling.
So Dallas's only loss was to their rival Lake Lehman. They actually led in that game. Give credit to the Black Knights.
Yeah, of course, that was Dallas's first game back. I believe they had close to a 3-week layoff due to COVID. And probably a little bit sluggish there. They're playing much better basketball right now.
Holy Redeemer has beaten Lake Lehman. Also another common opponent for both, Crestwood, which they both lost to.
And we'll see the comments next week.
Yeah, Dallas actually beat them the opening game of the season, I should say.
Yeah, they had that great opening night win, and then the program got shut down for about 20 days.
Yep. Nice skip inside from Wallace to Buffalino.
And we talked about Buffalino in the marquee matchup. He's got to play bigger than what he is. The Mountaineers giving up a little bit of height underneath.
Prochak's shot no good. Just 1 point on the board for Holy Redeemer.
Mountaineers sticking with that zone. Nice curl and fine by Nacito.
Yeah, Widra just couldn't put it down. So Royals want to run a little bit. Nice push in by Daryl Wright.
And if you're the Royals, that's what you want to do. Get some transition baskets, feel good about yourself offensively. There's plenty of time left, only 11-point game. We're not even out of the first quarter yet, so plenty of time left.
Finarelli, little jump shot. I like the way he hangs in the air.
Yes, gets great elevation on the jump shot. These guards are spectacular. Finarelli and Nacito, both juniors, been starters since the 9th grade.
Right
Coach
now, and right now they scored 14 of the 16 for Dallas. So if it's not one, it's the other. This is Nacito.
Little heat check there, and he drains it.
I don't know how you can stop that.
Dallas sticking with that 1-2-2, back to a 2-3 zone.
Now they're just rushing a little bit, so it increased to a 16-point lead now, under a minute. Mark Belinsky.
Do you think maybe Dallas playing last night helps them? Because Redeemers had a layoff. They haven't played since Saturday.
Yeah.
And the way this season's going, that has to feel like an eternity because teams are playing basically every other night due to the shortened season.
Reimer in for Holy Redeemer, guarding Nacito. Knocked away. Reimer comes up a bit. He's the senior over to right. Quick look to Prochak, and they're going to get a foul. Let's see, who is it going to be on? It'll be on Buffalino.
And Reimer, who just came in, can shoot the ball. He's another one of those Holy Redeemer bigs that can step out and shoot the three. Coming off an ankle injury, Coach Guido told me earlier in the week he's about pretty close to being 100% now.
So Matt Prochak gets his first points from the line, shooting 64%.
And if you're a scorer like Prochak, going to the free throw line, seeing the ball go through the hoop, got to be a good thing psychologically. This could get him going.
So he gets that going. He had 19 against Nanticoke and 17 against Allentown Central Catholic. Again, Holy Redeemers played 8 games this season, where Dallas has played only 4.
Yeah, and Holy Redeemer's schedule absolutely brutal. They're probably the best 5-loss team in District 2, going on the road to Wilkes-Barre area, Williamsport, and Allentown Central Catholic, along with Loyal Sox.
Well, it's been the Nick Nacito Show, the Austin Frenarelli matchup. It's been all Dallas here. They have a 14-point lead as we head into quarter number 2. Back inside Holy Redeemer High School in Wilkes-Barre. The Wyoming Valley Conference game. As you can see, both teams wearing masks. The masked rule in this school, everybody has to wear a mask, even Billy and I tonight. So we're adhering to the rules here, and it's all about safety this year, as we know, just to be happy for teams to be on the court playing basketball.
Great to have hoops back, and if wearing a mask is, part of the price you have to pay, well worth it.
How about that first quarter from Dallas? 19 first quarter points, 10 for Nacito, 5 for Frenarelli. Again, probably the best backcourt maybe in District 2.
You could make a strong argument for that. They're a pleasure to watch. If you're the Mountaineers, you could not have scripted a better first quarter.
No, well, I'm thinking maybe Reed and Rickard up at Riverside, maybe the next one, and we'll have them on Tuesday.
They're very explosive and fun to watch. They're a state playoff team from last year as well, the Vikes.
Yeah, speaking of state playoffs, Dallas lost to Wallenpaupack in the 5A finals last year. They dropped down to 4A. They're 21-6 last year. And Dallas, believe it or not, this is weird. They haven't won a district title since 1984.
That is very weird.
And that was 3A.
Dallas bounced back nicely after that loss in the district final, winning 2 state playoff games before they shut things down to the tournament. A lot of questions of what ifs. Your season ends with COVID after you won 2 state playoff games.
They were the last remaining standing, but they lost a lot in the front court this year. But they're doing a nice job. Right now, they may be the favorites in 4A. Elfwood Scranton Prep as well.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have great guard play, you have a great chance to win, and they have that. And they have some freshmen that are coming off the bench that are really stepping up and contributing to the scoring. Pretty balanced team. And if they can get scoring inside from Buffalino, they're only going to get better. Season's still young.
They don't even start a senior, so
exactly.
Think about that. Ooh, Wright takes a hard one, going for the ball. He bounces up, though. Well, foul on Nacito, his first. That is the 5th foul on Dallas, just 1 for Redeemer. Here it is again, Billy. Yep, just going for the ball.
Yeah. Watch Reimer maybe coming in here. He can knock down some shots.
They haven't really tried any threes. That zone has really been tough.
And if you're Mark Belinsky, definitely want to stick with it until Redeemer figures it out. If that broke, don't fix it.
That's right. Here comes Frenarelli. Nice move, hangs up there. Pulled down by Hakowski. He's a senior, 6'4". So the size advantage definitely goes to the Royals.
Yeah.
Let's see if that gets things going as Billy Calder-Reimer from downtown is 14-3 on the year.
These bigs for the Royals can step out and shoot. Let's see if this gets them going. Only an 11-point game now. Tons of time left here in the first half.
Oh, but Necedo answers.
Yeah, Dallas runs great stuff for their guards. He came off a curl there and was ready to shoot.
His third three of this game already. So talk about feeling it. How about from downtown again for the senior?
Reimer giving him a great spark off the bench, and as Coach Guido said, he's about 100% from that ankle injury that he suffered last week.
An 11-point lead. Oh, Necedo tried behind the back. Went up someone's leg.
Yeah, no kick there. There was no intent. Great back cut. Now that trip down, Reimer was basically face guarding Necedo. No help responsibilities for him at all.
Pinarelli on right. Pinarelli loses it, but Wydra, nice hustle coming down the court.
And that's why you run the floor. Big guys that run the floor get rewarded. Easy putback. Nice look.
Real nice look. Nice turnaround by Hakowski.
And if you're Redeemer, you want to get stuff going inside. Maybe get things going to the rim. Don't settle for jump shots. Granted, Reimar made a few, but I would look to maybe do a little high-low, put the ball in the high post, maybe have a duck in by Prochak or Hakowski.
This is Wallace, a sophomore, number 4. Good cup, Finarelli amongst the trees, and he gets it to roll.
Do you think Wallace and Buffalino see the same barber with the blonde highlights?
I don't know, maybe. Stylist, I think they call it now, not barber.
You can tell how long it's been since I went to a barber to get a haircut. I am follically challenged.
Double teamed on Prochak. He gets it back out, though. Another opportunity. And they'll get a foul inside.
Push in the back.
I think this one is against Wydra, his second. So he'll take a seat. Coming into the game is Cumbo, the freshman for Dallas.
Cumbo gave them 9 points off the bench last night at Pittston area. Knocked down 2 threes, made a jump shot when he first checked in on an out-of-bounds underplay. Shot it with confidence. This kid, he has a scorer's mentality. He's not just happy to be out there getting varsity minutes as a freshman. He looks to score.
Looks like Lou Lachowski, a senior, number 14, is also in for Dallas. Schultz returns. And on the line will be Hakowski, shooting 57% this season. 1 and 1, the first one is off. So Finarelli on Schultz.
Wright has the task of guarding Necedo.
And we'll have a timeout on the floor. It's still Dallas in the lead by 13 now over the Royals. .point lead for the Mountaineers. Let's take a look at their schedule so far. As we said, just 4 games. They opened an impressive win with Crestwood because Crestwood has really come back. And like you said, they beat Wilkes-Barre. Lost to Lake Lehman. That's always tough. And then 2 straight wins.
Yeah, they are playing much better basketball. I think that Lehman loss, not to take anything away from Lake Lehman, that was after almost a 3-week shutdown. Probably a little rush there. Those 2 teams will meet up again later in the season in Division II play. Nice rivalry between Lehman and Dallas.
Crestwood beat Holy Redeemer right here on this court last week, 42-41. That was a back and forth game. Like to see Prochak get more touches. He can hit from the 3. Ripped away by Gumbo on Schultz. Rejected by Reimar on Finarelli. Good defense.
I think that's one of those where Finarelli might want to finish with the left hand, use that right shoulder to protect the ball from the defender.
Mark Belinsky calling out the plays, and you know, with limited fans here, just a home crowd, you hear a lot that's going on.
You do.
More than ever.
That might not be a good thing if you're an official, because you're hearing everything that's pretty much said from both benches.
In the corner, off the mark by Reimar with Prochak, a big board, still fighting for it, and he's just going to be held, and looks like that might go against.
And if you're Holy Redeemer, they struggled shooting the ball at Williamsport in their last game. They've had some struggles here tonight shooting the ball, with the exception for Reimar. Prochak going to the line here, getting active on the offensive glass will really help them.
So Olszewski's first foul, and Prochak.
We saw there in the replay just the relentless effort, just sticking with the play, playing to the whistle. Prochak, very versatile, can bang inside, doesn't fear contact, can step out and shoot.
Averages 14 points per game, so he's got to get it going. He doesn't have a field goal yet. He has 4 free throws, though. Still an 11-point lead. Royals have to step it up here on the defensive end. But all Dallas so far here on the home floor of Holy Redeemer.
Royals turning it up here defensively. Pressure in the ball, pressure in the passing lanes, and Coach Belinsky wants to talk it over.
So it's a Bathfitter timeout by Coach Belinsky for Dallas, if they're real good defense for the Royals. So let's see what the Royals have faced this year. As we said, they have been all over the map. They put the bus, gas the bus up, and away we go. They play a little Allentown Central. You know, 3 straight losses, 3 straight wins, and then 2 very good teams in Crestwood and Williamsport.
Yeah, their schedule's really a gauntlet. I think it's really going to help them down the stretch in Division II play, and then once they get into the district playoffs. When I asked Paul Guido about his tough schedule earlier in the week when we spoke on the phone, he said one of the advantages that many people don't talk about the tough schedule is this helps keeps his kids focused all the time, because there's no cupcakes on the schedule. Like, you have to bring it, or not only are you going to lose, you're going to lose big. Like a very, very tough schedule.
Last loss was Saturday against Williamsport. Schultz pulls it down. Mountaineers get back. Schultz drives, and he lays it up and in. Let's see if that gets him going. That's his first field goal.
And that's vintage Justice Schultz in transition, getting to the rim. This is why Dallas wants to control tempo. They do not want Schultz in the open floor getting to the rim that easily.
Well, they have it within 9 now. And good job by the freshman Gumbo. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. He's been all over the place. He even played in the JV game.
Yeah, he's racking up the minutes both on the JV and varsity levels. Like I said, he really gave them a spark last night at Pittston area in the second quarter, knocking down a couple threes along with a mid-range jump shot.
Powell went against Prochak, his first. There's a toughness inside.
Yeah, both of these teams, they have a little blue collar to them. They don't mind mixing it up underneath.
Schultz starting to feel it, maybe a little more aggressive than he was in the beginning.
Yeah, if you're Dallas, you might want to hold your breath here a little bit. Schultz is getting on a roll, showing why he's the reigning player of the year in Division II of the Wyoming Valley Conference. The Royals much more engaged defensively here, pressuring the ball, pressuring the passing lanes.
Oh, Nocito over the 6'4" Prochek with his arms in the air.
And that's one of those you just tip your cap to the shooter. I mean, Nick Nocito made a tough challenge jump shot. I mean, he can shoot it. Yeah, that's one of those. That's excellent defense. It's just a great shooter making a contested shot.
He has 15 points already. Walk on Finarelli. Royals will get the ball back. Under a minute to play here in the first half. Pizzolato coming back in along with senior Del Basso for Holy Redeemer. Wright and Prochek will take a break.
Dallas staying with that zone. I would not get out of it until Redeemer really, really figures it out. With the exception of Reimar, they have not really shot the ball all that well from the perimeter.
Step back by Hakowski, no good, and Royals Mountaineers want to run. Here come the Mounts.
The high ball screen.
Off the screen, Nocito fouled, and it will be 3.
I think he may have been inside
Yeah,
the
I
arc.
think
It
he
might
was
be
too.
2. But Nocito's crafty.
It's going to go against Schultz, his first.
Bruce Weinstock signaling to the table. First
2.
3 shots, now it's 2.
2.
He was inside the line.
So this Nocito already with 15, trying to add to that and increase the Dallas lead.
Yeah, and good call by this officiating crew. That was inside the line, shooting 2. Nocito, though, very crafty. Loves to create contact. If you're guarding him, you don't want to leave your feet. And here's this 1-2-2 press, looking to contain Holy Redeemer, have them go east to west rather than north-south.
Schultz out top. Against this zone defense to really contain the Royals tonight. Under 15. Schultz cut off.
Nice find.
Reimer lost the handle, still time. And we get a foul with 0.2 seconds left on the clock.
And Reimer will shoot 1-1
Yeah,
here.
he will. That is the 9th foul on Dallas. So it's Hakowski to the line again.
Now, I think if you're Holy Redeemer at halftime, obviously you want to talk about zone offense, having a little bit more effective approach attacking the zone. However, your best zone offense could be beating it down the floor. Maybe they'll extend their defense, full court pressure, get the tempo going.
And up to 1-1, that's the way the first half ends. Coming up on the Toyota halftime report, we'll hear from our friends from Allied Services. Billy and I will be back to talk about District 2 basketball, but it's been all Mountaineers today here in Wilkes-Barre, trying to put back-to-back wins up on the board.
You're watching Allied Services High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY. Sponsored by Hazelton Honda.
I'm joined today by Sue Schwartz. She's the Director of Nursing here at Allied for both rehab hospitals. Sue, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me.
So you've worked at Allied for 33 years. What are some of the best parts about working in the rehab hospitals?
It's very motivating. It's very progressive. You know, we work with the state-of-the-art equipment. We see such great success stories. It's very rewarding when we see, you know, patients who have been here, struggled through the worst times in their lives, and then come back a few months later, and very rewarding for us to hear that they're back in college or they're driving again, the things that many people take for granted. It's a great environment for learning for you know, young students that are in school for occupational therapy, physical therapy. You know, we bring staff in, and then they climb through the ranks so much like I did. And they then have positions as nurses and physical therapies in a rehabilitation setting. I remember back when I started as a GN right out of school, and just continued to be promoted through the ranks for hard work and the efforts that we all do and everything. And I wouldn't have worked anywhere else. I can't see myself anywhere else at this point.
Well, Sue, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for the 33 years you've put in here at Allied Services.
Thanks so much.
We're at the half here at Holy Redeemer. Dallas with a nice lead over the home team, the Royals, 32-19. Bob Ide, Billy Jones enjoying this game from courtside tonight, and good game so far. But let's take a look at some district standings. We're going to have a big month of February. A lot of games are going to be played heading into the District 2 tournament, which will start at the beginning of March. So we'll take a look at 3A, which is very stacked this year. Redeemers in there, but Seminary is on hold right now. They're just 5-0, but they're in a COVID protocol as well.
Yeah, they were playing their best basketball and then got shut down. We'll see how they respond when they come back. Hopefully for Coach Pete Moses, no rush there. Riverside has that great backcourt with Rickard and Reed. We were talking about them in the break. And then the Dunmore Bucks.
Don't count them out.
No. Coached very well by Kevin Clark. They have Kevin Walsh back, who is coming back off of an ACL injury. He can fill it up.
And as you mentioned, Redeemer may be the best 5-loss team.
Their schedule is absolutely brutal.
In this. And we'll have Riverside Holy Cross coming up. Holy Cross will play Dunmore on Sunday, so that's a big matchup on Sunday. We'll have Riverside and Holy Cross on Tuesday. So let's look at 4A now, and that's where we'll find Dallas leading the way, Scranton Prep. Mid-Valley, a young team, bit of a surprise.
Yeah, maybe not. Coach Mike Abda gets the best out of his guys. They're always going to compete. They're always well coached. He has a great program and a great system in place.
Now, the big thing this year is only one team from each district will make it to the state playoffs, so it's going to be a battle right to the end at the Mohegan Arena.
Yeah, there's no runner-ups. There's no third-place game to get teams in the states. It's win the tournament or go home. There's going to be some very good basketball teams on the boys' side and the girls' side that unfortunately are going to have their seasons end in the District 2 tournament.
Okay, let's look at the District 2 standings so far this year. It'll be a busy February headed into March. When we come back, Billy and I will have stats and game highlights, and then we'll have the third quarter here on MyTV. Dallas being paced tonight, right now up by Nick Nacito. 5 3-pointers. He's carried the Mountaineers here in the first half. He has 19 points, Billy. You point out Holy Redeemer has 19 points.
Yeah, the Nick Nacito show in the first half. It's going to be interesting to see how they go about guarding him in the second half. Late in the first half, Coach Guido went no help. Guys that were guarding him basically had no help responsibilities. They were face guarding him once he came inside half court. You're going to have to do your best to contain him because he's on a roll.
Yeah, he is. Let's take a look at some first half highlights as we get you ready for the third quarter. And again, off a screen, Nacito. One of his 5.
Yeah, they'll run him off staggers, curls. If he catches and has some daylight, it's not going to be a good result for the defense. And you can see there, catching in rhythm, got the shooter's bounce there from the corner. Just a great stroke.
That was the first field goal of the night was for Royals. They went almost a whole quarter without a field goal.
Yeah, and Reimar gave them a spark off the bench. There he is right there knocking down the 3. I'm going to be anxious to see, and there's Reimar hitting another jump shot. I'm anxious to see if Holy Redeemer will possibly extend their defense, come out with some full court pressure, and possibly just speed the pace up to get those quick guards getting to the rim for some easy hoops.
Good hustle by Jackson Wydra. Schultz got going in the second. He only has 5. Want to see a little bit more out of Justice, the Division II Player of the Year last year.
Yeah, he had back-to-back hoops there in the first half, and I really thought that was going to get him going, but I'm sure there's going to be some adjustments made at halftime to get him on a roll. Again, it's a 13-point game. Plenty of time left. Let's just see what adjustments Holy Redeemer has made. Obviously, Dallas will probably make some adjustments as well. I will say, though, they will probably stay in that zone defense that gave Holy Redeemer fits. They'll stick with it until Holy Redeemer figures it out. That's my guess.
So the Mountaineers, again, coming off their win last night over Pittston area, 64-47. They beat Athens last week. That was after the loss to Lehman, but the Mountaineers are starting to heat up and starting to feel it a little bit. The Royals will get the ball. This is the sophomore, Darrell Wright, number 12, who will run the point.
And the Mountaineers sticking with that zone. There's the high-low.
They say it's off Prochak.
And if you're Paul Guido, you have to be happy there. High-low, looking to go inside. Pizzolatto into Prochak. Came up empty there, but the right mentality.
Good defense. by Dallas. Schultz brings it in.
And that's where Holy Redeemer's at its best in transition with those quick guards. Mark Belinsky talked to me earlier in the week. Controlling the tempo is his main concern. He wants to keep this a half-court game.
Royals need a run here to begin the third. Back of the rim by Nacito, but good board by Wydra.
Yeah, Wydra and Matuchik, they do like the little things for this Mountaineer club. Stuff that doesn't show up in the box score, but they're blue-collar guys.
Zach Perda picks up the foul, the 5'9" sophomore. Again, not a lot of seniors on the floor, just one so far right now.
Yeah, a lot of youth with both of these clubs. It should be a great next 2 years for both Dallas and Holy Redeemer.
Holy Redeemer going to stay in that man-to-man.
And Wright getting out pressure in the ball.
Schultz with the board off the Nacito miss. They'll want to run that Prochak. Little late on the pass, but they lost the handle. Late foul. The whistle blows. And it looks like Matushik will pick up the foul. Was it a shooting? They're going to say yes. So that should put Prochak at the line.
Yeah, late whistle, but the correct call. He's going to go to the line, shoot 2. That last trip down defensively for Redeemer, if you're going to get Nacito to shoot the ball, you want to have him do it in traffic. And if you're going to pick your poison, you're going to want to have Nacito shoot it off the bounce. Granted, he has a decent mid-range game, actually an above-average mid-range game, but you don't want him to catch and shoot in rhythm. That's where he's really deadly.
Prochak perfect from the line, does not have a field goal, though. He is their leading scorer for Holy Redeemer.
9-point game.
Yeah, they've had four in a row now for Dallas. Or excuse me, Holy Redeemer.
And they're turning it up defensively. Pressure in the passing lanes, pressure in the basketball.
Well, even if you shut Nacito down, he's still a Finarelli to contend with. He's trying to post up right inside. They can't get on the ball.
He's got a little height advantage. Taking advantage of that mismatch height-wise.
Perda now on Nacito. Knocked away, nice job by the sophomore. So they're changing up who's guarding number 2.
Yeah, I would not want that task. I think you're gonna have to do it by committee. I don't think you wanna have the same guy guarding him the entire half, because I think that's just gonna drain you offensively. It's gonna affect your game offensively.
Excuse me, a warning to the Dallas bench by referee Bruce Weinstock, a veteran in District 2.
And one of the greatest basketball players to come out of GAR High School.
Lean in by Finarelli, and they're going to get the foul. Paul Guido can't believe it. They're going to say it's on Schultz, and that he was shooting. I believe Finarelli going to the line.
Yeah, in the act of shooting, as we spoke about, Nacito really carried them in the first half. Maybe going to the line here for Finarelli can get him going here in the second half.
Just a 46% shooter from the line.
Kind of shocking considering he's great from behind the arc. You would think that he would have a nice stroke from the free throw line, but he's had his trouble so far this season.
Hits the second part of the 2 shots. So a 10-point now advantage for the Mounts.
Now Dallas, they're in that 1-2-2, but they packed it in a little bit just inside half court. Before it was a 3/4 court press. Now they're picking up just inside half with that 1-2-2.
So Prochak loses it out of bounds. Actually was knocked off one of the Dallas players. Schultz cut off Perda. Nice little jumper. He finds the twine.
And Perda's got an excellent mid-range game as well. He can hit the pull-up jump shot. He can hit the floater in traffic. These guards for Redeemer, very skilled.
What do you want to see? If the Royals can make a run, what do they need to get it down to? Well, if you don't stop Nacito, you're not going to get that. So.
Yeah, you got to know where he is on the floor and contest all his shots. If you're Holy Redeemer, you want to get it under 10. And I mean, it's only an 11-point game now, but you want to make sure it's under 10 going into the fourth quarter.
22 for number 2. our spotlight player for Dallas. Knocked out of bounds by Buffalino.
And if Holy Redeemer does lose this game, it's not going to be due to lack of effort. These kids are going to play hard. They're well coached. They have too much pride. An 11-point deficit with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. I mean, there's an eternity of basketball left. Anything can happen.
No foul. Here come the Royals.
And again, if you're Redeemer, those are the shots you want Nacito to take. Contested twos inside the three-point arc.
Wydra hanging out, and he's going to be fouled by Pizzolato.
And if you're Paul Guido, that's got to be frustrating. That's just a breakdown in communication. They lost Wydra there in transition. Missed the layup, but going to the line here for a chance for two.
Quarterback for the football team. Wydra to the line. 50% shooter on the year. Hit that first one and hits the second. Looked pretty good there.
Didn't look like a 50% free throw shooter
not
there.
Not at all. So back up to a 13-point lead now. Royals had it within 9. Schultz, he finds the rim downtown.
And again, it's down to 10. Dallas sticking with that zone. I would still stick with it as well. Herder really aggressively guarding Nacito here in the half court.
So Wright's going to pick up the foul, but aggressive defense, though, by Daryl Wright. His first, team's fourth now for Holy Redeemer here in the second half. Intensity starting to pick up a little bit, Billy. You could hear it on both sides.
Yeah, a sense of urgency here by Holy Redeemer. They know that, you know, an 8-0 or 9-0 run by Dallas could put this game away.
Wydra, Johnny on the spot.
Yeah, given some offense here in the third quarter. Usually the offense comes from the guards with this Dallas club. If they can get any interior scoring, that's a plus.
Prochak just cannot find a field goal tonight.
He struggled offensively Saturday at Williamsport, and it's carried over into tonight.
They're going to get an offensive foul on Finarelli, and that will take us to our third quarter timeout. Still a 12-point lead for the Mountaineers over the Royals. They are the Holy Redeemer cheerleaders. 6 in all, if I count right, Billy. But nice to see them here tonight enjoying this game.
Yeah, when you have the cheerleaders in the house, it does give that feel of business as usual, like before COVID.
Again, just home spectators here. So after the timeout, here comes Holy Redeemer trailing by 12. Dallas opened this game with a 12-1. They led at the half, and they've continued to lead all game.
Yeah, they haven't looked back, and they're sticking with that zone. Dallas started the game man-to-man, went to zone early, and they have not gotten out of it. Got a push in the back there on Wydra guarding Prochak in the post.
That's Wydra's third foul. Third on the team. It'll be Royals ball. Reimer into the game. Played well in that first half. Back to Prochak. As soon as he gets the ball, he's triple teamed in the middle.
Yeah, he gathers a lot of attention, and rightfully so.
Finarelli to the hole. He's fouled. He'll go to the line. You know, just like that, Dallas is down the end of the court, and that's one of their mainstays, speed up and down.
Yeah, absolutely. Dallas, you know, Mark Belinsky talked about controlling tempo, keeping it a half-court game. However, they will be opportunistic. If they can get a chance to score in transition, they will.
Drola Huski, senior, 6'2", number 14, into the game. Finarelli misses it. Back to Nacito, no good. Schultz hanging, Schultz up for the easy 2.
Yeah, they lost Schultz. Not good floor balance there by Dallas. They'd want to have somebody back. They can't allow that to happen the rest of the game.
Schultz with 12 now, still an 11-point lead for Dallas. A travel on Buffalino. So you want, if you're the Royals, you want to get it within double figures, maybe 7 before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, and I mean, anything's possible there with 8 minutes to go. Plenty of time left. I just think if you're Paul Guido, you really haven't gotten any mojo offensively. I'd like to see them maybe get a nice 8-0, 9-0 run. They are very capable of putting up big numbers offensively in spurts. And again, Dallas opportunistic. They'll take easy baskets if they can get them.
So it's the Finarelli and Nacito show, which has been all year long for Dallas.
And if you're the Wyoming Valley Conference, get used to it because you're going to have it for another year.
Nice shot by Perter from downtown. His 9th 3 on the season, his first tonight.
And again, it's down to 10.
They're going to need some stops offensively.
If you're guarding Nacito, that's not an easy task. He moves without the ball well, he changes speeds. If you overplay him, he'll back cut. He's very crafty.
There you saw it. Didn't get the spin, but there's the hustle. Turns around and hits a 3.
And if you're Paul Guido, that's probably something you show in film tomorrow. He just wanted it more. Got his own rebound, knocked down the 3.
Yep, he has 7 threes. He has 24 points. Right stripped away.
Yeah, this is an all-conference performance he's putting in tonight. Redeemer now extending that defense. If they can get some turnovers here and get some transition baskets, this could get them going. Again, 13, very doable.
Pertle on the foul. That is the 6th on Holy Redeemer in this half. Dallas with a 13-point lead. That's the highest it's been. A couple times in this game for Dallas. Closest Holy Redeemer has gotten it is to 9. Finarelli from outside the arc, no good. Schultz grabs it. He'll stop and he'll pop. That's big again.
Again, it's down to 10.
He has 15 now, suddenly.
Yeah, Dallas can't seem to create any more separation. They'll get it to 13. It'll get cut down to, 11 or 10. Redeemer will not go away here.
Dallas going to play for the last shot unless they have something easy.
Watch maybe the Mountaineers to get something going backdoor here. Holy Redeemer's really getting up, overplaying.
Coming up on 10 seconds. Buffalino maybe rushed it a little bit, but nice turnaround. Schultz wanted the foul, couldn't get it to go. So Dallas still maintaining that double-digit advantage as we head into the 4th quarter here in Wilkes-Barre. Back in Wilkes-Barre at Holy Redeemer High School, the Mounts over the Royals by 12. Bob Hyde, Billy Jones enjoying this Wyoming Valley Conference game. And what do we have coming up here on MyTV? Well, we have a busy February as well. We'll be back in the Lackawanna League on Tuesday, then back in the Wyoming Valley Conference on Friday. And then we'll do a nice little girls game. How about Riverside and Dunmore? 2 of the best in the league up there, according with Scranton Prep as well.
All 3 of those games, appointment television. Those are games that when the schedules come out, you circle them. They're a must-watch.
Buffalino will step back at the front of the rim.
Buffalino was feeling good after he hit that shot right before the 3rd quarter buzzer.
Prochak just can't find a field goal. The leading scorer for Holy Redeemers has just 6 points from the free throw line. Finarelli.
Fine.
To Matuszek.
These guards can not only score, but they can find open teammates. They can create and make guys around them better.
14 now is the lead. Perda skies for that one. Trying to get something. Schultz. No good. Royals still battling.
Holy Redeemer in a little bit of a danger zone here, Bob. They cannot let Dallas go on another run. That could be the end of the ball game here with a 14-point deficit.
If you like guard play, this is a fantastic game to watch.
Absolutely, absolutely. Guys, multiple guys in this game that will make all-conference team in the backcourt.
Perla with the foul, his third. I mean, this division is loaded really with great guards.
Yeah,
as well as the other one.
And if you remember, you know, in the offseason, Dallas was in Division I. They moved down to Division II along with Nanticoke. So Division II got a lot better.
25 so far, firing Aceto, but can't hit the free throw. An opportunity now for Holy Redeemer. Schultz, no good. Prochak still battling. Reimer off. And Perdo's gonna pick up 2 quick ones.
That drive by Schultz, kind of a microcosm of how the night's going for the Royals. Great drive, great take. That ball just went in and out, didn't go down.
Here's the battle. Perda then picks up the foul. And I think we have a timeout. We have a full timeout here called by Holy Redeemer. So we'll stay right here off that foul. 14 is the largest lead of the night.
Yeah.
And here's what the Royals have coming up. They're supposed to play on Saturday against Seminary again. Now, the Knights are shut down. So their next game will be on Tuesday. Another long layoff for Holy Redeemer. But, you know, practice isn't a bad thing sometimes.
Not at all. And, of course, in our opening broadcast this season, we saw Lake Lehman. They have that very good inside-outside punch with Max Pajeski and Neil Doherty.
These two teams will meet again in the final game of the season up in the back mountain.
And if you look at that schedule, not a lot of easy nights. And of course, you have Hazleton in there, another 6A school, which Holy Redeemer is playing out of division.
Well, they're not afraid to. They've already played Williamsport this year, so why not try another one?
Exactly. Yeah, they played Williamsport, Wilkes-Barre area. Hazleton will be their third 6A school on the schedule so far this year.
So it's a 1-and-1 opportunity, I think, now for Finarelli. Foul.
And like you said, Bob, 50% free throw shooter. Let's see if he can convert here.
Hits the front end. Of course, he opened the season with 24 against Crestwood.
I think if you're Holy Redeemer, once you get a score, you have to extend your defense. Any press that you have in, any type of zone press, man press, you got to throw the kitchen sink here at Dallas and try and get back into this game. They have the firepower to, you know, get this down under single digits.
Well, Dallas and Seminary will have a good matchup when Sem can get back on the court. They go offensive foul.
Yeah, got Finarelli with the push-off, going to the rim.
Just a fourth foul and timeout by Coach Belinsky. He will stay right here again. 6:03 on the clock remaining here in the gym.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it going in that Dallas has half of the games played that Redeemer does. Redeemer has 8 games going into the night, had 8 games under their belt. Dallas only 4. You wouldn't think that way with the, you know, how the Mountaineers are playing tonight.
So there's Sem. They should be back next week, I believe. So they'll go up against Dallas, but then, you know, you have Lake Lehman, which already beat Dallas, in between them.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a revenge game for Dallas. That's a little backyard neighborhood rivalry, two school districts that border one another. I don't think Dallas was happy that the Black Knights of Lake Lehman came into their house and beat them.
And the Mountaineers, I was at that game. The Mountaineers played a very good first half and led in that game. Something of note too, Dallas is one. If they win tonight, they won last night. Both games on the road.
Yeah. And if Dallas holds on tonight and pulls this off, this will be their first game or first win in division play. They're right now 0-1. This would be a great win to get that first victory in league division play.
You're Paul Guido. What do you want to see out of your Royals team the last 6 minutes of this one?
I think you want to see them take good shots. In order to set up your press, though, you have to score. If they don't score, you can't press. So I think you got to get high-quality looks. It's okay to shoot threes, but they got to be good threes, but they can't waste too much time scoring here.
No whistle. And knocked out of bounds by Wright. Dixon into the game for Dallas, number 10, a senior. Finarelli, after a quick break, he comes back on the floor.
If you're Nacito and Finarelli, you pretty much have taken a beating tonight. You've been face guarded. When you've had the ball, you've been pressured. If you can get through tonight and pull off this road win, you pretty much can win in any environment.
Dallas will take on Wyoming Erie on Saturday. Trying to get these games in. Finarelli just goes by Wright.
Too easy of a take. Can't allow a straight line drive like that.
15 for him, 25 for his counterpart, and Buffalino.
And I'm sure you're going to see Dallas now. Well, again, too easy of a look in transition. I think, though, next time down in the half court, they're going to be a little bit more methodical. With a 20-point lead, they're going to take some time off the clock and shorten this fourth quarter. But if you can get an easy look like that in transition, you'll take it.
Got to see a little Justice Schultz tonight. He's up in double figures with 17. Just maybe a little bit too late on it. Dallas going to work the clock now, up 18.
And I'm sure that's what Mark Belinsky spoke about with his team in the last timeout. Pick and choose your opportunities. If you're in the half court, burn some clock. And when you have two stud guards that can handle pressure, that's a pretty easy task.
Finarelli is fouled.
Finarelli.
Reimar, his third, or second, sorry.
And there's Finarelli taking it to the rim. Doesn't fear contact, driving it into the trees. These guards are crafty. If you chase them off the three-point line, they don't mind taking to the rim, creating contact.
One thing Coach Belinsky said when I talked to him last week, you can't really be mad at the kids this year. Can't really yell at them because, you know, they'd be happy to be on the court playing. No matter what happens, you got a season in.
Yeah, I mean, this whole COVID thing, I think it makes you, regardless of if you're a coach, a player, it makes you count your blessings that you're back on the floor and able to play. So let's face it, in the fall, probably a lot of schools thinking, a lot of players, a lot of coaches thinking there might not be a season.
Finarelli strips it. Perda can't do anything about it.
You can tell these two guards for Dallas, Nacito and Finarelli, battle-tested from last year's state tournament run. They're gamers. They know their way around a big game.
Perda, no good. And Finarelli pulls it down. Probably see some of the bench players coming in soon for both teams as we take a timeout, and we'll have a timeout on the floor as Nacito comes up with a cramp. We'll take the break. 3:22 left in this one. It's been all Dallas here tonight. We are back in Wilkes-Barre. Bob-eyed Billy Jones, a Wyoming Valley Conference Division II game. been all Dallas right from the outset. A 12-1 lead at the half. They led 32-19. This is they were up. They had it up to over 20 points a lead here in the fourth quarter, and it's been the backcourt of Finarelli and Aceto who have done the damage for the Mounts.
Yeah, Dallas got out to a 12-1 run to start the game, and they have not looked back. Prior to that timeout, Nick Aceto went down, hobbled off the court. Looks like cramping issues, nothing serious, thankfully, if you're Mark Belinsky.
Again, this is back-to-back games for the Mountaineers. They played at Pittston area last night.
And there's Finarelli being crafty again, getting to the rim, loves drawing contact, doesn't fear taking it to the trees. He's going back to the free throw line.
Weimar with his third, team's 10th. So double bonus the rest of the way for Dallas. You know, let's talk about the Dallas defense. Prochak, the leading scorer, coming in, doesn't have a field goal. Schultz after him. Schultz is up to 17, but really it's been that zone defense has given fits to the Royals.
Yeah, and Dallas started off man-to-man, but they went to that zone quick, and Holy Redeemer just really couldn't crack it. And if you're Mark Belinsky and his staff, why get out of it? You know, that's been your bread and butter defensively so far tonight.
Playing that zone, is that just coming from not having that big guy in the middle? Their biggest guy is 6'2". Is the zone the best defense?
You know what? With the way this season is going, with teams not getting a lot of practice time in, and with maybe not being best, let's say your club isn't in the best condition because you've had layoffs, zone isn't the worst route to go. Zone will save your legs defensively, and if teams haven't been in the gym getting in a flow practicing all that much, they might not be in the best shooting rhythm. So if I'm a coach, I'm zoning more now than ever with this crazy season due to COVID.
Buffalino saves it. He traveled, trying to make a move too quick. 2 minutes left in this one. We'll see some subs now for both teams. 20-point lead for the Mountaineers. Dallas will have a day off and then play against Wyoming area on Saturday. Again, getting a rhythm is something Coach Belinsky wanted to do. You know, in these 3 games, they're getting the rhythm now.
Yeah, they are. I think they found their mojo. If you're Holy Redeemer, you can take a lot out of this game. Yeah, it stinks to lose. You don't ever want to lose, but I think there's some lessons that can be learned. And as you mentioned, Bob, these 2 teams will meet again at the end of the regular season.
Dallas, though, has 2 tough games against Seminary right now, the leader in the division.
And we'll see how Sem bounces back. They're shut down due to COVID. You know, if you're Pete Moses, you're kind of worried because you're playing really good basketball, and then everything came to a screeching halt.
Nice shot by Cardi. His second 3 of the season, his first tonight.
And if you're, you know, one of the reserves on the floor right now for either Dallas or Redeemer, you're playing for minutes. You want to show your coaching staff something that maybe can get you minutes later on in the season. Again, this season, especially for Dallas, in its infancy.
Foul against Dallas. Looks like that's against Cumbo. Yes, just Schultz takes a seat after a nice night for the reigning Division II Player of the Year. Ends with 17.
And Holy Redeemer will bounce back for this. They have tons of basketball left. You know, they have too much pride as a program. They have a great coaching staff, and the talent is there.
Well, I think if your other teams that are going to play the Royals, you're going to look at playing the zone.
Yeah, you are. And if you're Holy Redeemer in practice, you got to work on zone offense. Your best zone offense is beating it down the floor. I think maybe you want to work on maybe getting some transition baskets, speeding up the tempo. But then, of course, if you do have to play half court against zone defense, you want to have some good action in there, maybe work in some high-low, make sure you get those quick guards into the gaps or the seams of the zone.
This is Max Rosen at the line, a 6-foot senior for Holy Redeemer. A couple more subs in now for Dallas. Starters are on the bench for both sides. And Rosen's going to get in the scorebook.
And if you told Dallas coach Mark Belinsky during that intense snowstorm the early part of the week, you're going to come out of the snowstorm with no practice, you're going to play back-to-back nights and go 2-0 with 2 convincing wins at Pittston area and Holy Redeemer, you'd probably say you're nuts. It's funny how basketball is.
Well, they scored 64 last night. They're approaching that in this game. So that's over 120 points in 2 games.
And we all
with
know
no practice.
And we all know those Alsa Mensa teams, whether it was Old Forge, Western Wayne, Pittston area, they are very stingy defensively. If you can score 60 on a Alsa Mensa coach team, you're clicking offensively.
So Patrick Delbasso, 6'3" senior at the line now with 42 seconds left in this one. Holy Redeemer will drop to, 3-6 on the season. Dallas improves to 4-1. And as you mentioned, picked up their first win in the division.
Yeah, and Redeemer will fall to 2-2 in the division. So as we talked about in the open, this division, it's wide open, it's a dogfight, a lot more parity than last year. Every game's super important.
Billy and I, in about a week, will be up at Tunkhannock.
Be in Tiger Country.
In Tiger Country, our first trip up there for the crew for basketball.
And I'm looking forward to watching both Spencer Lunger's crew, the Tunkhannock Tigers, and the Crestwood Comets, coached by Mark Atherton, who many picked to win Division I of the Wyoming Valley Conference this year.
Oh, they put a beating on Wilkes-Barre.
And Wilkes-Barre responding tonight, putting a beating on Hazleton. So you never know in the Wyoming Valley Conference.
And that's, not to look too far ahead, but that's a mismatch. Tigers, very tall team, 6'4", 6'5". Again, and a guard-oriented team for Crestwood.
Yeah, they say in boxing, the great fights are contrasting styles. Our game up at Tunkhannock a week from Friday will be 2 contrasting styles. And again, even though it's early February, the season's still young with the late start. Plenty of basketball to be played for both Holy Redeemer and Dallas. Should be interesting to see how Division II plays out here in the Wyoming Valley Conference.
13-point lead as Max Rosen hit a couple there. That cuts the lead down. It was up to 20. And that will do it. The horn will sound, and Dallas heads into Wilkes-Barre. Back-to-back wins. Belinsky, the mentor, over Paul Guido. A nice hug at midcourt for both teams. And I don't know much more you can say about Dallas. Recap the game in your mind right now.
Nick Nacito got them rolling. They opened up, the game with a 12-1 lead and never looked back. Great guard play by both Finarelli and Nacito. If you have great guard play, you have a chance to win every basketball game on your schedule.
Okay, when we come back, we'll have Allied Services players of the game on the floor. We'll say goodbye to Billy, and I'll be back after this.
You're watching Allied Services High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY. Sponsored by Hazleton Honda.
So it's back-to-back wins for the Dallas Mountaineers. A big one here in Wilkes-Barre tonight over Holy Redeemer. And joining us right now are Allied Services players of the game. Austin Finarelli, who had a nice second half, one of the dynamic duo for this Dallas team. And Austin, let's talk about, because you guys came out with a fast start. Did that carry over from last night's game?
Yeah, I mean, we played pretty well last night's game, and then we were feeling good coming in. We knew we had back-to-back games, so it's nice just to get in a rhythm and get going early on.
You talk about a rhythm. You guys were off for a couple weeks. Now it seems this is the team we expected to see.
Right, yeah. I mean, we were off for like that 2 weeks. It was tough. We weren't together, but now we're coming back, and it's nice getting in a rhythm.
How tough is this division? A lot of good teams. You were in Division I last year. You have that experience, but now in this division, very tough games every night.
Yeah, I mean, all great teams playing against. So, I mean, we love the competition, though. I mean, it's fun for us.
Okay, what do you want to see from your team the rest of the year?
I mean, keep playing together. I feel like we got a cohesive unit right now, and we're playing together, so I like it.
Let's bring in, I don't know who Batman and Robin are, but one of them is going to come. Here comes Nick Nacito. Boy, Nick, 20, I think at 25 tonight, 7 3-pointers. Talk to me about the way you play your game and what you had going on here tonight.
Yeah, it's a lot about just trying to run through the system. I mean, we had guys spacing and setting back screens, so it's good to get chemistry with the guys and space it out. And I was the one shooting this time, but whoever's on, it's really them shooting the ball.
And to hold a Holy Redeemer team down like that zone's really working for you guys. How do you guys play that? And talk to me what it means to play that zone.
Yeah, I mean, Coach likes to switch up the defenses, so we work a lot on it. And tonight's zone was working, so we stayed with it. I mean, really don't come with a plan, try it all out, and whatever works, we stay with it.
Why is this team rolling now?
I mean, I don't know. We're playing together. I mean, the more we're together, we got games in a row, practices, so I mean, the more we're back, I mean, the guys like to hang out, and I think it carries over to the court.
Okay, guys, congratulations. Good luck the rest of the season. Nick Nacito, our Allied Services player of the game, 25 tonight, I think 7 3-pointers, so watch out for him. We'll be back at it on Tuesday here on MyTV for high school hoops. We'll be back in the Lackawanna League. That's a Division III matchup as Riverside hosts Holy Cross. That should be a good game up there in Taylor. So that's going to wrap it up here in Wilkes-Barre from Holy Redeemer. The Royals lose to the Mountaineers tonight, but there's a lot more games to play. So for Billy Jones and for the entire Fox 56 sports crew, this is Bob Ide saying so long.
You're watching Allied Services High School Hoops on MyTV WQMY. Sponsored by Hazleton Honda.